Welcome to Chiaroscuro, the Art of Living Life. This pick a card reading is going to be about for those in a relationship. And the theme of it is, what can I do to strengthen my relationship? So this will be about, the focus will be on you and what you can do to make the relationship better or strengthen the bond or just kind of maybe even take it to the next level for you, what is within the realm of control for you. And it's going to be less about what the other person needs to do, but it's going to be more about you and your responses and how you are handling things. We have 3 different piles. Pile number 1 is this river stone. Pile number 2 is this turquoise stone. Pile number 3 is this black and white spotted stone. If you are a new viewer, thank you for joining, for watching. And if you are a return, thank you for your support. You know the deal. Couple disclaimers. These readings are timeless. So if I recorded this 6 months ago, it could still be applicable to you if you were drawn to the reading. In addition, if multiple energies show up in the reading, it could be vice versa. So if I'm saying this energy is you and then this energy is another person, it could be vice versa, so just take it however that resonates. And then these are general readings, so if the message doesn't resonate with you, just, leave it, but do take what does resonate since they are general. Great, well thank you for watching, and we're going to, there's going to be timestamps in the description. And in a minute there'll be a close-up picture of all of the options that you can pause the video on and then just use your intuition to pick whichever one you are drawn to. Alright, we're going to move on to deck number 1. If you chose deck number 1, the Riverstone, this will be the reading for you on how you can be a better partner in the context of your current committed relationship. Alright, let's see what we got going on. Alright, first of all, we have not for you reversed. So this could mean that you are potentially in a relationship that isn't actually for you, that you're trying to force something to work that isn't working, and that it's time to let it go. Secondly, this could also mean, though, that you are kind of obsessed. There is an element of like obsessive thinking here, of obsessive trying to force something, to understand something, just chasing after something that isn't actually available to you, and like putting in this obsessive energy into achieving it. So there could be aspects of the relationship that maybe aren't clear to you, that you are like beating a dead horse over, or maybe you are chasing something that isn't available. Perhaps what you want from your partner, they aren't able to give you, and you're kind of pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and chasing it and chasing it and obsessing over it, instead of recognizing that it just isn't within their ability currently to give that to you. Whether it's a deeper emotional connection or whatever it is, they may not be in the position to provide it. And so you're just pushing and chasing something that just can't happen. We have also new moon in Taurus. Prosperity lies ahead. So for those of you that are with somebody that you should move away from because it isn't working, instead of trying to force it to work, it's time to kind of acknowledge, with that not for you reversed, that it isn't working and let it go. Then there is a much better relationship coming your way. Prosperity lies ahead. If you make the space, then the right thing will come. With it being Taurus, that's very stable energy, very, once a Taurus is dedicated to you, They are very loyal, very dedicated, very hardworking, very in it. So, you know, if you are involved in a relationship, a toxic relationship that it's time to release, there isn't something new coming your way. So open up the space for that. If you are just kind of struggling in your relationship with wanting somebody to give you something that they can't, which, mind you, a lot of us do this when we are placing our happiness in somebody else's hands. So if it's something like, I want you to give me more compliments, I don't think you think I'm attractive, you don't ever compliment me, there's an issue inside of you, an insecurity inside of you that is less about them and it's more about how you're responding to something, what you're not giving yourself. Anyway, it's if you just, in the relationship, if you just allow it to be, like, stop obsessing, stop harping on it, stop forcing it to be what you want it to be, just allow it to develop as the relationship's going to develop, you can have a much better relationship, a different relationship. Because right now you're probably putting a lot of pressure on this other person, and that isn't going to create anything good in the context of the relationship. They aren't going to respond to that negative pressure in the way that you want. So, you know, acceptance and surrender. Just stop. Just let it happen. And a new phase is coming in the relationship. We're going to get to this card in a minute. Let's see where your focus is right now. It's the Five of Wands reversed. It's fighting. You're focused on there's fighting. And interestingly, you are judging the fighting. What's going on in the fights, what this person values, what they want, what they're saying. You're judging it. Okay, we have judgment here. Oh. Five of Wands reversed. It's fighting. Intense fighting when it's reversed like this. Real chaotic. Nobody's listening to the other person. Everybody just wants to be heard, but nobody wants to listen. And this goes for both parties in this case, so you are just as guilty of it. What you're probably accusing the other person of doing, you more than likely are also doing in this situation. But we do have judgment here, and in this case, I think that this is actually judgment. You are judging this other person. This is part of why you are obsessing, why you're trying to force them into doing what you want them to do. Because you are placing judgment on their actions, on them, on who they are. You are not accepting them for who they are. Which, as a result, creates a lot of disharmony and dysfunction in the relationship. Nobody's happy. You're not happy because you're saying, like, I can't be happy until you're the person I want you to be. And then your partner is not happy because they can't ever possibly live up to your expectations, because you're expecting them to fill a hole in you instead of filling it yourself, and they can't. So no matter what they do, they're never good enough. This creates problems. The Lover's reversed. Nine of Chalices reversed. The Lover's reversed. That's what's creating the disharmony. It feels like you guys don't want the same thing. It feels, because of this judgment, because of where this is, it seems like you don't want the same things. You might not, because for some of you here, I think that is the case, that you don't want the same things and you're trying to put a square peg in a round hole. But for others of you, I think there may be potential in this relationship that you are pushing away by putting these pressures and these expectations and these judgments on your partner. And it creates disharmony. It creates a disconnect between the two of you. So that's where your focus is on the fighting, on the judging, on how you do the X, Y, and Z, and I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with you. You aren't, doing what I want. You aren't. We aren't synced up, and that's where your focus is. Where your focus should be, we have the Ace of Cups reversed. For some of you that are watching this, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I think that this is a lack of self-love. I think where your focus should be is on the areas where you don't love yourself and where you're expecting somebody else to give you that love when you should be giving it to yourself. For others of you, I think it's recognizing that there isn't a love connection in this relationship. Again, trying to force a connection that doesn't exist. So for some of you, you may be trying, instead of focusing on the fighting and how do we fix this? How do I work this? It's kind of like, it's time to just let it go because it isn't working. For others of you, it isn't working because you don't love yourself and you're putting these expectations on another person. All right, we have the Star reversed. There is a feeling of hopelessness, of lack of purpose, of lack of direction. Feeling very, very down about this relationship. This could be what is actually contributing to a lack of emotional connection. Because if you are in this real dark place about the relationship, you are not feeling much impetus to actually develop that connection. The rest of these, strength, we have strength and the Knight of Pentacles. One, for some of you, this is about reining in your temper. And actually, instead of engaging in the deconstructive actions that you've been taking in this relationship currently, it's about reining in your temper, calming that down, and actually approaching things in a practical, slow, and steady manner. This is not about emotional outbursts, emotional explosions, because I suspect here with how much fighting there's been going on, I think that both parties are guilty of emotional outbursts, of behaving probably inappropriately, not proper communication, maybe even acting a little bit childish. This is about reining in that emotional response, that lion that wants to come out, that wants to attack and to shred something apart. Rein that in. Control yourself. Come on, we're adults here. Control yourself. And take a more practical, even if that means you need a break. You need to take a break. You need some breathing room to get control of yourself. Do what you need to do. Because this slow and steady effort, practical, rational communication can actually propel the relationship forward. There is an effort. The effort that has been being put into this relationship is wonky, and so it's creating a wonky relationship. So adjust how you put effort into the relationship into a more healthy way, and either the relationship will then respond. If this is somebody that is good for you to be with, they will respond appropriately and follow with the same amount of effort, the same adjustments in effort. I think that this starts with you doing this. Somebody has to start this. Somebody has to start behaving like an adult. So slow and steady, practical effort and communication. This isn't also going to happen right away, what I'm seeing here. So relax. Again, relax. Accept and surrender. Let it unfold like it's supposed to. Because better things are coming within the relationship or in another one, depending on whichever situation you're feeling here. For those that need to get out of this relationship, I think what this is saying is that your effort is better spent elsewhere. Like maybe it is hopeless. Maybe you're not just feeling hopeless, it is actually hopeless in continuing to engage in this. So in a way, this is like, take care of yourself. Just get away from the chaos of it and start investing in yourself. Start learning about how to love yourself, because then the right thing will come. The right relationship, I'm sorry, not the right thing. An action you can take. We have the Empress reversed here. Let's get clarifiers on this. The Empress reversed. For some of you here, I think that this is about self-care. I think for those that are in a dysfunctional relationship and it's time to let it go, for that narrative that we have going on in these readings, this is about taking care of yourself and to stop giving to somebody who isn't going to appreciate what you have to offer. So it's time to take care of yourself. It's time to withdraw from the relationship, and it's time to come back to yourself and learn about yourself, your own values, your own beauty, your own inner strength. For those of you that are in a relationship where you are contributing to the chaos and it's actually fixable, this is about, it's kind of similar. It's kind of like, oh gosh, there was this video of this little girl. What did she say? I can't remember. Worry about yourself. Worry about yourself is what she said. Worry about yourself. There is a neediness here, a clinginess, a controllingness here that needs to go. And it's kind of like, turn that energy towards yourself. Get to know yourself. Worry about yourself. The other person will respond to your vibration if your vibration is corrected. If you enter into more of a space like this, where you are nurturing and caring and loving and accepting and creative and even sexy and appealing, you know, they will respond to you in the right vibration. But you can't cling to them and force them to be in the right vibration so that you are in the right vibration. You have to be in the right vibration, period. Independent of anybody else's vibration. So I think there is a codependency tendency that has to be broken here. And that comes from learning to value and appreciate and be comfortable in your own skin. Value and appreciate yourself. For the clarifiers for the Empress. All right, again, we got two situations here. For those that it's time to go, it's time to accept that it isn't working. It's time to accept it isn't working. No forward motion. And this is about going on and doing your own thing. Believing that you have the confidence to attract the relationship that you want. Let it go. Get out there in the world. The Chariot, the Magician. You know, get out there. Go. Open your horizons. You know, get out there in the world, because something better is coming. That is a lot more functional, more healthy, for those that are in a relationship that it's worth working on. This is about you taking a step back and not taking any action. Stop trying to fix things because you are coming from a place of judgment. You don't actually know. You're not actually understanding what's happening here. You're just judging it and thinking that you do. So stop. Just take a break, take a step back, stop trying to fix, stop trying to obsess, stop trying to control. And this is about getting your own mojo. Getting your own mojo. Focus on what you do want, what you do like in the relationship, what is feasible, what can you create. Adjust your own vibration. And then the relationship will move forward. Like with that Knight of Pentacles that we saw. Slow and steady. You know, take your time. And if you actively want to create a better relationship here, you can, but it all comes down to you. You adjusting your vibration, your communication style, you know, what you're obsessing on, your judging. This is about accepting the other person. If you can't, then it's time, then just time to let it go. But you can move forward in a totally different direction in this relationship, starting with you adjusting how you behave in it. Oops. All right, let's check out this final card. Final advice. The medicine wheel reversed. Number 35. 3 and 5. 3, creation. 5, conflict, change. That reduces to 8. I don't remember 8 at the moment. I'm totally blanking. Anyway, in case you are interested in numerology. You must not postpone your healing journey any longer. It can be difficult to start, but you must find the inner strength to step into the medicine wheel, or you may lose your opportunity. There are many ways and many paths. Choose the one you resonate most with. Once you have found it, the only mistake you can make is not to follow it. Go boldly. Healing. Either option that is coming up here, whether you need to leave this relationship or it's you have to adjust your attitude and your engagement in it in order for it to progress forward. There's healing you have to do, because either way, something is wonky within you, where you are expecting somebody else to fix something for you, and that needs to be healed. Again, that lines up even with that Empress. Oops. Whoa. Healing yourself, taking the time to know yourself and heal yourself. If you adjust that vibration, if you heal, you know, the fears that are causing you to behave in a way that maybe you normally wouldn't, those kind of things, it will change how you have relationships and who you are in a relationship. Anyway, good luck. This concludes the reading for deck number 1. If you like the reading, please like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. And we're going to move on to deck number 2. If you chose deck number 2 for your reading, this turquoise stone, this will be the reading for you on how you can be a better partner in the context of your current relationship. You are the only deck that got 2 of these Moonology cards. Interesting. You are very focused on loss right now. Since this reading is about being in a relationship, I'm going to say that something has happened within your relationship that has hurt you. You've lost something. We have mending reversed. This is about loss. We have the 5 of Cups. This is about loss. So there is a deep pain that you are feeling, a deep heartbreak in some way. Maybe this person's hurt you or they've betrayed you. You know, I'm not really seeing anything about necessarily what they have done, but I'm just seeing that you are so sad. That feeling of loss is very sad. With this card comes a little bit of a different spin on loss, that when you are in that kind of pain, it allows you to actually see a bigger picture through empathy, or you can gain a higher understanding through the suffering that you are feeling. All right, full moon in Leo. Don't let pride get in your way. And full moon in Scorpio. It's time to release negativity. So whatever loss you are feeling, it is time to release. It's time to get rid of that darkness. It's time to forgive, to move on, to stop holding on to some pain that was generated within this relationship. With full moon in Leo, don't let pride get in your way. I'm suspecting that whatever happened was a hit to your pride, to your ego. And as a result, you're reacting in a very ego way in order to try to reclaim some of your image, your dignity, your pride. When we behave in a prideful manner, it's absolutely impossible for somebody to fix a mistake that they've made. Because if you're behaving pridefully, nothing they do will ever be good enough. They can't fix what's going on inside of you. They can make as much effort as they can to try to mend the relationship, which perhaps there is a mending that you are resisting. Since this is reversed, perhaps somebody, messed up in the relationship and they're trying their best to make it better. But it doesn't matter what they do. It never fixes the pain that you feel inside. And because your pride is damaged and you won't let it go. So if you're going to stay in this relationship, you have to let it go. At this point. Because you're holding on to it out of ego. You have to choose to forgive somebody if you want to stay with them. It's time to release the negativity. It's almost like this having gone through this situation, it happened, and now you're still living in it. It's over. It's not happening anymore, but you're still living in it. Recreating it, bringing it up over and over and over and over again. There's a lot of people who have the perspective, well, if they're going to accuse me of doing this and I'm already in trouble for it, I'm just going to go do it again. You're creating a dysfunctional environment by continuing to hold on to it. If it's something you can't deal with, if they cheated on you and they broke your trust and you can't rebuild that trust with them, then it's time to move on and find somebody that you can trust. But if you want to stay with them and you want to rebuild that trust, you have to allow that trust to be rebuilt. And quite frankly, I think that you're being very resistant to that. And you're staying in that negative space of loss, that you're staying in that pain instead of moving out of it and allowing something new to happen in the relationship to actually regain ground. 5 of Cups. That's all about loss. Interestingly, though, this figure is paying attention to the cups that have spilled, but is ignoring the ones behind him that are still full. I think with time to release negativity, you are definitely focused on all of the negative things in this relationship right now. And you are good things. If you can't make this shift, if you can't learn to trust again, if you can't learn to open up again, if you can't release the negativity, then leave the relationship. Because the other person can only do so much. This is a very internal thing. It's like you're resisting the part where you have to put in the effort to fix what was done. Because you don't think that you have to. I didn't make the mistake. Well, in a way, you kind of did, because you reacted to whatever happened in such a way that you allowed it to hurt you, and you are responsible for that reaction. Therefore, you are responsible to mend that reaction if it hurt you. Separate from the other person, that is something that goes on within you. They can only do so much. They can't fix how you're choosing to react to things. They can't fix where your focus is. Those are all choices that you have. That has nothing to do with that other person. Yeah, this Five of Cups is trapping you. Being focused on the negative, the being focused on the loss, being focused on lack, on not having, on whatever it is. You're shutting off. You're shutting down. To the world, into this relationship, it's just, you're cold now. You have shut down, and you are not engaging in the relationship as a result of how you're reacting to this loss, to how you're focusing on this. What these cards are suggesting is you are also resisting breaking free of this loss. It's almost like there is a comfort level that you have with being the martyr, being the one that is wronged, being the one that is, oh, woe is me. And you are resisting breaking out of those negative thought patterns. Right now, you're just so focused on the bad, on the hurt, that you aren't, instead of focusing on mending, on healing. See, those are two different perspectives of the exact same thing. You can focus on hurt, or you can focus on healing. Both things are looking at the same situation, but choosing a different response. Just saying, just putting that out there. It's coming through. Where your focus is, or where your focus should be. I'm sorry, we just went where your focus is. Where your focus should be. The Hermit reversed. I've got two kings here. The Hermit reversed. And then there's stress. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have two kings. We have a knight and a king. We have the King of Wands reversed, the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Wands reversed. So, where your focus should be is the stress and the anxiety and the discomfort that you feel that comes from your own sense of disempowerment. I'm not seeing anything in any of these clarifying cards that have suggested that anybody's cheated or that they've left you. It's interesting. I'm not seeing any of the big markers that really would be a big deal. So I'm wondering if the negativity and the loss that you are focused on is actually of your own creation, of your own fears and your own anxiety. You know, King of Wands reversed, Knight of Wands reversed, similar energies, different maturity levels, can be very social people who maybe somebody flirted with somebody else. Like, I'm not getting big, massive stuff here. Like somebody cheated or did something really horrendous. I'm getting that, like, maybe somebody was a little bit reckless, but you're holding on to it like it's the end of the world. Like it's the end, like they stabbed you in the back. And honestly, it's really because of these fears and anxieties that you have. It's preventing you from being able to see what's happening. It's like blowing up a situation because you don't understand it, because you can't, because you have too much fear and anxiety going on. All of those fears are kicking in. Oh, you know, she's gonna leave me, or he's gonna leave me because he went and talked to somebody else and he gave too much attention to that other person, and now he wants to cheat with her, and I'm creating a situation out of fear that didn't exist before. And I'm in loss. Now I can never trust him because he went and he talked to somebody else. That's kind of, I don't mean to sound condescending, but it's kind of like you're making a bigger deal about something. Now, take this how this resonates. If somebody did cheat, you know, that is a big deal. I'm not trying to diminish that, but it is time for you to let it go if something like that did happen. But I think for a lot of people watching this, this is more small stuff, that your own fears and anxiety are blowing up into something bigger because you don't feel like you have the confidence to keep this person or to be desired by this person. There's a lack of confidence within you, a fear of abandonment even, that maybe they won't ever think you're good enough and they won't stay. And so the minute that they do something that could threaten that, no matter how benign it is, maybe it's somebody says, oh, hey, I like your haircut, to a friend, and you think that that means that now they're sexually attracted to them and they're going to leave you for this person. We're talking about that level of fear. Those kind of kooky responses that come from the fear of losing that person because you don't believe in your confidence to have them. That's where your focus needs to be. The ways that you are making your life more difficult for you. The ways that you are unable to actually see what's really happening in a relationship. This can also be a fear of maybe being alone. Maybe you don't like to be alone. And so maybe you pick people that aren't good for you because you just would rather have somebody around than be alone. That's another thing. You pick people you already know aren't good for you, and then you get mad at them when they do what they're supposed to do. It's like the story of the scorpion and the frog, I think it is, where the scorpion wants to cross the river, and the frog is like, sees the scorpion sitting on the riverbanks, and is like, oh, hey, are you okay? And the scorpion's like, I need to get to the other side. And the frog's like, I don't know. You might sting me and, hurt me. I don't know if I really want to take you. And the scorpion's like, I won't sting you. It'll all be fine. And as the frog's carrying the scorpion over the water, the scorpion stings the frog and they both go down. The moral of that story is a scorpion's going to do what it's going to do. You can't convince yourself it's something other than it is. Oh, no. I don't even know if that's what the story is, but that's just what came to my head. Alright, an action you can take is the star. This is super powerful. This is about faith. This is about understanding that there are forces outside of you at work. And also believing in yourself. That inner intuition, that inner guidance system. There's a lot of belief that you are lacking in the world, in yourself, in other people. And it is a choice. You can say, well, because I feel like I'm going to get something here, like, yeah, but, all of the relationships that I've had, everybody's treated me like shit. Okay, but why does that mean that everybody is going to treat you shit moving forward? It doesn't. If you keep doing what you've always done, then you're going to continue to attract the same people. But that doesn't have to be the narrative. That isn't, just because you've had some bad experiences doesn't mean that that is the narrative of how the world works. That just happens to be what you were attracting. And the sooner you start understanding this attraction, the star, that you are, in a way, you are being divinely guided to understand yourself in a much deeper way. You've been resisting it. You've been putting the onus on other people. Oh, well, they did this. They did this. They hurt me. They're a jerk. They did this. Instead of owning the fears, the anxieties, the stuff that's being flared up in you, and working that out so that you stop attracting that. The focus on lack is big here. Ooh-wee. Alright, you are being guided. There is an unhealthy cycle, the Wheel of Fortune reverse, that you have with relationships, with commitments, the Hierophant. I think some of it is that you think you know everything about how to be in a relationship, and that therefore you are the boss. What you say is the way that it goes. This is the the way it's going to be, the tradition that's going to be set. I'm going to dictate all of this. It gives you a sense of control, especially if you've got abandonment issues. It makes you feel in control. What you're doing, though, is you're dictating instead of working with somebody, working to build something with another person, brick by brick, enjoying the slow process of getting to know somebody, of building something together. You know, maybe this brick is red over here, and this one's green, and this one's purple. Maybe you guys have different color bricks. Whatever. Who cares? As long as you build a solid foundation together, what difference does it make? But for you, it's going to be this way. This is everyone's going to have to operate in the way that I want them to operate. And that's the cycle that has to be broken. It comes from insecurity. It comes from fear. It comes from anxiety. Working together with somebody changes the whole dynamic of all of the relationships you've had. Because I don't know that you've actually worked with somebody before. I don't know that you've experienced that, because you've just wanted to dictate. This is how it's going to be, which actually shuts the other person out of the relationship. It becomes a relationship of one instead of two. You know, they feel that they're never heard, that what they want doesn't matter because you are just dictating, and you will push them away. That's getting cold. We saw that before, shutting down, getting cold, just dictating. Start working with people. Learn how to work with and build something together. Not just you and not just this other person. It's together. We're going to do it together. That is an action. That's what needs to be learned. That's what needs to be a gentle light needs to be shed on. A different direction for you to go. It gives you a better understanding of yourself. It's actually going to give you a lot more security, believe it or not, to work with another person instead of to dictate to them. And that other person's going to be a lot happier in the relationship. And they're not going to try to run away. Last final card, 44. The sacrifice reversed. 44. We have foundation, double foundation here. How you build the foundation in a relationship is important. You need to adjust how you've been doing that. What is the one person or thing that you feel you cannot live without? It is time to offer it all to Spirit so that it may unfold as it will. Do not cling to the old form or allow your sacrifice to weigh heavily upon you. You have sacrificed yourself and your dreams for too long. Now is the time to rededicate yourself to your journey. When you make sacred, you open the doors to infinite wealth. Do not delay. Stop. Start focusing on yourself. Start doing the work on the internal work for yourself. This is another layer. When you get into a relationship, do you put your dreams and your aspirations on the back burner? And then you get even more mad when the person isn't doing what you want because of the things that you have sacrificed? Stop doing that. Don't ever sacrifice or compromise your dreams, the core values of you. Stop doing that. No one will ever understand it. It's not worth it. Find somebody that matches then. Stop cutting away pieces of yourself so that you can have somebody. Find somebody who matches that. There's healing that you definitely need. You definitely need some healing. And it all starts with you. I don't really see a whole lot about this of the relationship. You might be in it, you might not. This is all about you and what you need to do. It will either make your current relationship better, or it will allow you to attract the right partner in, if you have in fact broken up with somebody. Alright, this concludes the reading for deck number 2. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment below if you like the reading. I would love to know. It helps me as a reader to know I'm doing a good job. And thank you for watching. We're going to move on to deck number... If you chose deck number 3, this spotted, black and white spotted stone, this will be the reading for you on how what can you do to strengthen the relationship you currently are in. This is interesting. I think there are a couple things going on here, but we'll start with clean it up, number 21. This could literally mean it's time to clean up your home. You know, if you're living together with somebody, perhaps it's too stressful because there's too much clutter. And cleaning and organizing everything up can kind of clean up the relationship in a way. But I think that that could be part of it. But this is also about cleaning up your thought patterns, cleaning up the relationship. What stuff are you holding on to that is no longer applicable? It's time to do spring cleaning. What communication styles aren't working anymore? What thought patterns aren't working anymore? What way the two of you work together isn't working anymore? Time to clean it up. And you could just clean up your house as a really good start. Maybe even do it together. We have new moon in Aries, time to take action. So there is, what are you not doing? You're not cleaning it up. We'll get more detail, but just from these cards, my guess is that you aren't doing what needs to be done to reinvigorate the relationship. Cleaning things up, straightening it up, getting rid of the old, making space for the new, dusting off everything will reinvigorate the relationship. But for some reason, I think you may be resisting doing it, but it is time. It's time for you to put in that effort. All right, where your focus is. 8 of Wands reversed. So this can represent receiving bad news. This can also represent no forward motion. So feeling like the relationship isn't going anywhere because you ain't cleaning it up. You're not putting in the effort to get it to go somewhere. You won't clean it up. You're not taking action. It's like you expect the other person to do it for you. But it takes two. Both people have to put in the effort. And sometimes you're going to have to be the one that starts it, that initiates it. But we'll get some clarifiers. Interesting. It isn't going forward. In fact, I think you feel like everything's kind of falling apart. It's not fair. We have Justice reversed and the 10 of Pentacles reversed. Maybe the family unit is falling apart, and it's not fair. Perhaps feeling like somebody has lied as well, and that things are just kind of disintegrating. However, there is an opportunity in this. We have the Ace of Pentacles. There is an opportunity for this relationship to go in a different direction. It is a direction it hasn't been in before. It is a direction that is new and beneficial. You know, the 10 of Pentacles, this is the start of the suit of Pentacles, and this is the end. So when you get to the end, then you start a new cycle with the Ace again. So it is time to go in a new direction. So your focus is on that it's not going anywhere. It can go somewhere. Where your focus should be, oh, I don't know if I showed this. the Eight of Wands reversed. Where your focus should be is the Knight of Wands reversed. I think you're angry. I think you're holding on to some anger that isn't actually serving you well anymore. Clean it up. Or perhaps there's an exhaustion as well that you're holding on to. Or recklessness. A reckless energy. Maybe this person you were with was like this, hot and cold, kind of all over the place. Or the person you are with, and you, as a result, you feel like it's not going to go anywhere. Honestly, I think that this is more about you, though. Maybe being impulsively angry, reactive. Oh yeah. When things don't go the way that you want them to, you start a fight, and it creates disharmony and dysfunction within the relationship. So, Eight of Pentacles. When things aren't going the way that you want them to, they aren't going in the direction you want to, they aren't developing the way that you want to, you get mad and you start a fight. Five of Wands. You start fighting with this person, and it pushes them away. It creates disharmony and dysfunction within the relationship. Ooh. Aries can have a temper. Aries can have a temper. Although I think in this particular case, I think that this cleanup is your attitude. About when things don't go the way you want them to. I think that that's really what this is. Let's clarify the action you can take. This is a strange card for an action you can take. Alright. We have the Nine of Swords. I think the action you can take is to address and work on your anxieties, insecurities, and fears. This is a very dark card. So when things aren't going your way, it's triggering some kind of fear. The reason you're reacting so strongly is because there is some issue that is being inside of you that is being triggered when things don't go your way. No relationship ever 100% is going to go your way. So you've got to learn how to roll with that within the context of the relationship. And I think a lot of what this is, for these clarifiers, these are all about you getting your mojo. By the way, we do have the Magician and the High Priestess. They are a pair. This is a very natural pair. These are different sides of the same coin. It's like the same thing, but a different expression of it. So there is a natural pair here, a natural relationship that you are in that can be very, very good as long as you're not pushing somebody away with your temper and with the fits because things aren't going your way. So one, I think that you, in order to get this anxiety here to go away, you have to make a very, very concerted effort to tap into your own personal power, to get very, very comfortable with yourself. And there's two sides to that. One is listening to your internal guidance system, and two is to be able to act on that internal guidance system to actually make empowering decisions for you. And then you will feel so solid in yourself. When something goes wrong, you're not going to worry about it. There won't be anything to worry about because you'll be like, okay, I'm going to listen to my internal guidance system. What is it telling me? If you don't know about what the internal guidance system is, I would suggest looking up Abraham Hicks and Emotions as Your Internal Guidance System. I would watch some videos on that. but your emotional guidance system basically tells you where to go and where not to go. If you're operating in fear and anxiety, though, that will mess up your ability to hear this, because you will think what you think you're thinking and feeling. You think that's where to go, but it's actually fear and anxiety, and it isn't your own guidance system. So, fine line there. Anyway, I'm sorry, I just heard my neighbors walk down the stairs and it distracted me for a second. Yes, this is, you have to take control of your own happiness, of your own self-worth, and figure this shit out for yourself. Ooh, excuse my language. Then the anxiety will go away. Then you will believe that you will be able to handle situations when they don't go your way, and then you won't freak out anymore. Last card. The Ancient Ones. The Ancient Ones are inviting you to reach to the future to help birth a new destiny for the Earth. Go ahead, find out who you are becoming 10,000 years from now. If you accept the invitation, great power and blessings will come your way and allow you to craft a new destiny for yourself. Do not hesitate to bite off more than you can chew, because you have unlimited spiritual resources available right now. It's time to embrace your inner power. That's what that is. And go for it. Figure it out. Just further confirmation. You are becoming, go with it. Embrace it. Get in touch. Oh, side note. The Magician and the High Priestess can also be the divine masculine and divine feminine energies within you that you are merging into that Queen of Wands card that we saw. So it may not necessarily be the divine pair externally. It could be a divine pair within you where you are actually balancing those masculine and feminine energies and using them appropriately in order to feel empowered and and confident and feel solid in yourself. This concludes the reading for deck number 3. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment below if you liked the reading. It helps me as a reader to know I'm doing a good job. And thank you for watching.